Hey YouTubers, Rob Moffett, good morning. Guys, I was going to do a book review on Brian Tracy's $1 Million Habits. It's a great book. But I decided instead I'm going to do a video on something he talks about in the book that's kind of important. It's on how to prioritize things. I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can prioritize almost anything, any type of project, from something that has like 100 different parts to something that's much smaller. There's like many reasons people fail at things. I'm familiar with a lot of them. I have personal experience, but like the top 3, or among the top, are 3 that I would say. Number 1, people don't start. They have analysis paralysis. They never get around to starting things, or they don't finish. And third, they don't focus on the right things. They spend all their time on things that are less priorities. I worked for a company that spent a lot of time and money on developing an assay for the medical community where they didn't want it. And we ended up going out of business, even though we succeeded at making something. But there wasn't a market for it. So you could succeed at something but still fail if you don't focus on the right thing. So I'm going to show you 3 ways. He talks about 2 of them in the book. The last one is something I learned on my own working at a different company. The first method of prioritizing he talks about is a system called ABCDE, where he says you should always focus on your A-level priorities. And if they're done, you can proceed to B or C. He divides everything up into 5 categories. 1 is a must-do. You have to do. It's critical. You have to, let's say, have paperwork done because tomorrow you're going to court. It's very important. Number 2B, it's something you should do soon, but it doesn't have to be necessarily done, but it is very important. But it doesn't have to be done right away. Number 3 is something you want to do one day. And you want to do it, but it isn't something that it's going to hurt if it never gets done. Maybe your ego or something, but it's not necessarily that important. But it's a want, and we live our lives around our wants. But sometimes we should be doing what we must do instead of what we want. The other ones are D and E. D is delegate. If possible, you should always delegate if it makes economic sense to do that. Sometimes it's just as simple as having someone do something because it's more convenient. They're coming home from work, so they can pass by and do something where otherwise you would be spending. There's different ways to delegate. It isn't always just paying someone. The last one is eliminate. There are sometimes things that are important and critical, but they should be eliminated. Let's say you're spending $80 a month on a storage site. And you start off, it was $40 a month like 3 years ago, and they've raised the price, and you just never got around to getting rid of the stuff because some of it belongs to other people and there's a lot of drama involved. But in the meantime, every month you're paying out. It's something you should eliminate. So that is his ABCDE system. Anytime you're working, you should be focusing on your priorities, and they should be first A priorities. You should never work on a B or C. Oftentimes people will be spending time, I say people, oftentimes I will be spending time on things I want to do, but not the critical things or the other things, the B things, or the eliminating is important. So that is a system you can put in place to where you can focus on your priorities every day. The next one a lot of people know about, but if you don't, I'll give you a really quick brief overview. It's called the Pareto Principle, after a guy, I think his name was Wilford. Back in 1896, he did discover something. He found out that 80% of your value of doing something will come from 20% of your efforts. That also is like for salesmen, like 80% of their profit will come from 20% of their sales calls. Or if you're a retail establishment, 80% of your product or profits will come from 20% of your products. If you're a job foreman, 80% of your problems will come from 20% of your employees. So it doesn't always work out exactly that, and there are sometimes exceptions, but usually it's a pretty general rule. Like right now, I could probably look on my YouTube channel. I've got about 800 videos, and I bet more than 80% come from 20% of my videos. In fact, right now, I should probably not be working on this video because it's a self-help type video, and this would not be in the high profit video that I would normally get. Like if I would do a video on how to fix printers or fix cars or do a product review, those are popular profitable videos for me. This one, no one's going to watch. I should, if I listen to my own advice, I shouldn't be doing this because no one is going to be watching this video. I'm not going to get 80% from this video. I'm going to get the reverse. I'll probably get a little, but anyway, that's the Pareto principle. You should be spending time on that 20% that gives you the most return, whether it's a service, a value, a profit, or anything. And it generally works out pretty good. The last one is, I like, let's say you have a product or a project that has many parts, maybe 60, 70, and you're at a loss to where to start, and it's a headache. It's you brainstorm. Let's say you have to clean out your garage. You have relatives coming, and for years you've been wanting to do this, but you also need to paint after you clean it out, and there's a big hole in the wall where you have some boxes, and you need to do that, and plus some of the stuff belongs to other relatives, and you have to get them to come. It's a lot of drama, it's like a lot of effort, and then you just do brainstorm everything you would have to do to get that garage in top shape, and just write down on a list. Maybe you got 40 things, and then just start with the first one. Ask yourself, is that the most important one of all this? And go down to number 2, number 3, number 4. Eventually you'll come to like maybe number 11. Actually number 11 is more important than number 1. So then you keep going down to the list and go back to the top again until you come down to 11 again. And if you haven't found any one that was more important than number 11, then number 11 becomes 1. Then you go to number 2. Is number 2 the most important that should be due now? And go down, and more than likely you'll find another one like number 17. So number 17 is exactly the one that should be done next. And you go back to the top of the list, come back down to 17. And if you don't find another one that was more important than 17, then number 17 becomes 2. Then you go to the next one, number 3. Is number 3 the most important? Maybe number 3 is the most important, so it's now the third one also. And you keep going down until eventually you have every single item that you brainstormed prioritized to which one you should be done right after each other. It's a wonderful way to get everything organized so you can see right at a glance what needs to be focused on right now. And otherwise you'll spend your time working on a lot of stuff that shouldn't be done right now, and that will cause you not to get the project done at all, and you'll stop. Or you may get it done, but it'll take much longer. So those are 3 ways you can prioritize almost anything, and I thought it might be helpful to some people. I hope you guys thought this was helpful to you. I'll leave a link to Brian Tracy, his book on Amazon. Also, I'll leave a link to his video YouTube channel. He's got a lot of wonderful videos where you can listen to him talk about different things on productivity and how to improve things. Good guy. I like him a lot. All right, guys, hope this was helpful. I put out new videos every week. Been doing it for, 13 years. Got over 800 videos. A bunch of cool people I feature on my channel. No relation to me. They would deny it anyway. I always enjoy saying that. And I try to have new videos every week. All right, guys, take care. See you out there.